now comes the opera. I want to say a brief word about these wonderful singers. It's been such a pleasure working with them all. I've come from the Vienna State Opera, and the level is the same. It's really amazing, and it's been a great pleasure. And not only that, I must mention my two pianists, Ting Ting Wang and Elise Auerbach, who have been helping me all throughout these 6 weeks, or 5, 6 weeks, and they've been marvelous. Thank you. There's so much to say about Ariadne, I don't want to get too much. Ariadne has a very strange orchestra, I must say this. It's a small orchestra, and it's a strange instrumentation. They have basically 6 violins. They don't have first violins and second violins. They have 6 violins. First stand, second stand, third stand. And each of these violins has their own part to play. So sometimes I have 6 different violin parts as opposed to just 2. Makes it very complicated, I'll tell you that. The violas, 4 violas, each one has their own part. Cellos, 4 cellos, each one has their own part. So how many do I have that? 6, 4, 10, 14. Sometimes, it's not all the time, of course. There could be as many as 14 different string parts. It's quite confusing, but it's a beautiful sound. It has 8 winds, the normal winds, and we have 1 trumpet, 1 trombone, and then what's unusual, we have a piano. Elise is going to play the piano. It's a very large piano part. There's also a celesta part, which will be played by somebody who's not here tonight, and Ting Ting is going to play the harmonium, and which is also a very large part. So it's a very unusual. Oh, and there's also a harp. It's a very unusual instrumentation. You'll hear a lot. He plays with these wonderful colors. I wanted to mention that. The opera itself is the story of Ariadne, who has been abandoned by the god Theseus on the island of Naxos. And this summer, in order to really prepare in depth for this opera, I traveled to Naxos. They had a nice swimming pool too, I must admit, you know. We spent a week on Naxos. I've always wanted to go there, and I figured this is the best opportunity. I could write it off my taxes. And it was wonderful to be there on this island. And there's a wonderful statue of Ariadne down by the harbor where her cave was. She's left in a cave. And actually the cave is also there. Whether it's the original cave, I don't know. And that was very interesting to be there where it all happened. And Ariadne is left by Theseus, who's gone on to bigger and better things, and she wants to die because she's a one-man woman. She has met her, Theseus is her man, he left her, now it's time to die. So she's waiting there for the god of death, whose name is Hermes, the god of death. She's expecting him to arrive and take her to the other side. Well, someone else arrives instead, a man named Bacchus, being sung by John Mayer. And he arrives, and he has just escaped the sorceress Circe, who was supposed to turn him into an animal and wasn't. Now, maybe he's an animal in a different way, I have no idea. But and he's come for seeking new adventures. And she thinks he's the god of death. And he said, oh, he likes what he sees there. So there's a little bit of a misunderstanding there, but it's accompanied by the most glorious music. And who pops in the middle? Zerbinetta. And she sees poor Ariadne, who's pining and sighing and waiting for death. And she says, come on, lady. Come on, you got to get over him. There'll be another guy coming along, And it's such a wonderful juxtaposition of this incredible serious music and this serious moment. And she comes out, and it's for her nothing. And we're going to hear a bit of that now, I think. Right? So she's trying to cheer him up, and she has no. And she has her four men. They're trying to cheer this lady up. Nothing works. So let's try it with music, she says. And one of the gentlemen, one of the clowns, his name is Harlequin, is going to sing a little song and try to. I missed something, didn't I? I knew it. I should have told you that Ariadne is not there all by herself. She has 3 nymphs. Every good. Always. Never hurts to have 3 nymphs along. Well, we have 3 nymphs. Actually, we have 4. but we only use 3 at a time. And they open the whole act with this gorgeous music, and they will welcome you to the island of Naxos. Gabriele Flores and Alexander Rotzkasov. Did I say it right? Yeah. Oh, wonderful. And Alexander Nowakowski, did we mention you already before? Wonderful. So they've been taking care of Ariadne, and Ariadne is really, it's not easy to take care of Ariadne, and they're complaining about it, but they complain about it to the most gorgeous music that you ever heard. So now Ariadne introduces herself. Claire? This is Ariadne's opening, one of her most beautiful moments I chose for you.
Sure.